Podcast, Working Moms in Real Estate. I'm Marissa.
Still Gloria. Yep.
She's still Gloria, and we have a very special guest with us today, my absolute best friend in the entire world, my home girl, Anita Maestes. She's visiting with us via Zoom. So, Anita, tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Well, first of all, thank you, ladies, so much for having me on this amazing podcast. I've gotten the chance to look over some of your episodes, and I just think what you guys are doing is amazing, and you keep me laughing. And I'm so happy that after 34 years that the world gets to hear my best friend in all her glory. So, and get to know her. And
I'm only
Gloria.
34, so that we knew each other. We did meet at birth.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. Yeah.
We were there. It's like high five. Fine, Anita. She can be your very best friend.
Gloria, you can be the silver. I'll be the gold. It's okay. We're all the Olympic team here. But yeah, so kudos to you girls for getting this podcast going. I think you're on to something that's really going to catch on. And so thank you for having me on. I guess a little bit about myself. I have been in real estate now I just renewed my license for the 7th time. Wow. So I've been in real estate for 23 years, and I can't believe that it's been that long considering I'm only 22. But yeah, 23 years. And somewhere along the line, I managed to sprinkle in owning 2 gyms and having a farm and having 2 teenage boys. And so, yeah, and I'm qualifying broker for another local national builder. And so I keep myself pretty busy. So yeah, so that's a little bit about me.
Absolutely. Tell us a little bit about your farm. What kind of animals do you have?
So I have 13 alpacas. I have 4 goats and 2 mini horses, and then also about 20 chickens.
And
so yeah,
take care of the farm. And if anyone wants to come and see the farm, like what kind of information do you have for people who love animals?
Can they come and see your farm?
Definitely.
She will kick the alpaca's butt if it tries to come for you. I'll tell you that much. They
spit.
Yes, they do. They have tight little perms. And one time, me and my son were visiting her farm, and the alpaca came and tried to kick my little guy's butt. I'm talking like, and Anita just came out. Like, I mean, she had that thing like pushed back, and she's tiny. Like, and the alpaca was like, wait, like if this was her, this was the alpaca over her. And she let that guy know who was in charge.
All I did was look back and see the looks on all of their faces. And for me, it's completely normal, and I realized in that moment how different my lifestyle is from many people, and so we all had a good laugh about that. So they call me the alpaca wrangler, and I've showed that I'm a tough little girl and I can handle my own.
Yep.
Awesome.
But yes, people can come and visit. I used to the farm is actually, it's really not operating like it had been before COVID, but I opened a 501(c) just because so many people were wanting to come and visit the animals, bring them food, offer donations. And so I thought it would really be a great idea back in 2017 when I first started getting the animals, to just do a 501(c). And we would do events like alpaca yoga. And I had a really great friend that would come out and do yoga with the alpacas, which was fun, and do more events. And my goal is to definitely get back to that. I think after COVID, so many things changed. So many things changed with my business that for now, if people want to come over, I'll section out a time and they'll come over and view the form. I just don't have as much time as I used to, but I think I have help from my family now. And so hopefully here in the near future, we can do more farm tours, open to the public. But for now, definitely we can schedule an appointment and get you guys out here.
Very cool.
Yes.
Would be a drive for me.
You gotta come sometime to New Mexico to see my roots.
Well, I've never been invited, so
They are Mexican roots.
Well, Gloria, you are cordially invited to come to New Mexico.
Anita might be my
You have to come.
Yeah, I might be on the
I'm gonna make
will be home.
I'm gonna make Marissa bring you down here. I'll make Marissa bring you down here in the fall. October during our balloon fiesta is the absolute most magical time, in my opinion. In Albuquerque, anytime I want to leave, I think of what the fall is like here, and it keeps me here. The weather is beautiful. It's crisp in the morning, warm in the daytime. We're famous for our green chili. And so there's roasting green chili and harvest festivals, and it's just a really magical time. So if you're going to come here, make sure you come in October.
Thank you.
You're cordially invited, Gloria.
Cordially. I appreciate that, Anita.
Cordially.
By no one else. I mean, Marissa.
No one else.
Oh my gosh. And the reason that we keep saying homegirls is because we were talking about something yesterday and I was looking up names for things and homegirls popped up.
For a TikTok account, actually.
Yes, exactly.
Oh,
and we started dying laughing and she's like, I haven't said homegirl.
I know in high school.
We used to say homie lover friend in high school. That was like the R. Kelly song or something like that.
But did you say Jason Waterfalls?
Yes, Jason, left eye. And I forgot to introduce. This is actually Left Eye. We are TLC, and this is
who's T-Boz? Marissa can be T-Boz. Marissa's more chilly. I think Gloria can be T-Boz.
I'm good.
I'll take. You like T-Boz, the short hair? Whoever's left over.
Gosh. All right. Well, so today we're going to be talking about like a topic that nobody seems to talk about, or at least none of us have.
Well, we talk about it a lot, but nobody talks about it in public. It's almost like something you should be ashamed of, right? Mm-hmm. So I think we do talk about it, but it's one of those conversations you have with your homegirls. Same thing.
Exactly. So tell us what we're going to be talking about.
The topic is annoying chin hairs, changes in beauty routines, and aging gracefully. Mm-hmm. So I think, so we were having this conversation at our podcast last time we were together, and we were just talking about, and jump in, Anita, we jump in all the time. But we were talking about how you said, no one talks about this. Mm-hmm. And we were saying, well, why is that? And if you like to take a shot at it and we can tell you what we think or what I thought, what we kind of came up with, but it's a big conversation. It's an entire life change and that we're not talking about.
Yeah. I was telling Gloria, I was like, ever since you're a little, like probably about around 10, it's like, people start getting their cycles. And so then you're like, everyone's excited about it. I remember lying because I was wanting to start my cycle and I was a late bloomer. So I was like, yeah, I've started my cycle, but I really hadn't. But it was like something to be proud of. And then at the same time, a little bit embarrassed. And then you fast forward to like motherhood. And it's like, everyone tells you all the horror stories about childbirth and motherhood and all these things. And then there's like a long pause between like out loud speaking about the perimenopause, which is why don't we talk about it? We need to be educating each other so that we all know what to expect and we shouldn't be ashamed. It's part of life. It's the same as getting your cycle, going through childbirth, all those things. So we should be talking about it. So all the good, the bad, and the hairy, you know what I mean?
Hairy situations. Anita, what do you think? Why do you think that we don't talk about this stuff?
You know, I think as women, there's this kind of stigma around women of it's constantly trying to find that eternal youth factor. And, you know, perimenopause doesn't feel youthful anymore. It feels like you're transitioning into being old, you know, and that's always what you
Exactly.
think. You think, you know, when we were teenagers, our parents, our mom was going through it and navigating through it. You know, they weren't educated really on what's going on, what the side effects were, and they had gone, you know, in so many aspects, 10 years, you know, to when they finally stopped their cycle and then they realize, oh,
Mhm.
this is why I was like that for the last 10 years, you know, with all the different changes that your body goes through. And you know, and a lot of it isn't fun, like the fun little chin hairs that that pop up, and it's something that you feel is not beautiful. And I think as we're getting older, it's really hard to embrace that, especially in today's culture with Instagram and you know, and Botox and fillers and facelifts and you know, these beautiful women that are multimillionaires that are spending, you know, $5 million a year just to look the way that they look for a normal working mom. Um, you know, making under $1 million a year, we're really comparing ourselves um to something that's really never 100% achievable. Because I mean, you see women like the Kardashians, and it's constant. When is it ever enough?
Right.
So I think it's
Yeah.
really important that we're able to embrace, you know, what's going through the changes and be there to support each other and talk more about it, you know, let it just be so taboo and it's just something that happens under the table and no one wants to admit it because no one wants to admit they're getting older. But you know, I think it's just doing it gracefully, having the support of, you know, friends and family around you that you can talk to and talk to openly. And it's okay. It's okay to get older. And this is a brand new stage that we're all going into, and let's do it together gracefully.
Yep.
Absolutely. So we kind of jumped about a couple things over, but I think maybe we should just continue this conversation and
Yeah.
then go back to the other sections
Okay.
because I think we're kind of in the middle of a good conversation.
Yeah, I pulled up just a few factors about perio. And I like calling it perio. I think it's kind of funny. And I told my mom the
Yeah,
other
because
day,
you like to make things so awkward.
I told my mom, I was like, you know, perio. And she's like, what do you mean? You going to a periodontist? And I'm like, no. I was like, you know, perio, menopause. And
Just
anyway,
so you know, Gloria, Marissa and her mother could have their own spin-off
I
show
believe
if you
it.
guys ever want to do that. It's been like a whole lifetime of this amazing, candid camera moments between her and her mom. So if you have the opportunity to have her on and see how these two interact, it's
That's
priceless.
I
hilarious.
know.
We have to.
I am.
Yeah.
Well, um, but I think this is a key factor with perio is it starts as early as your late 30s. So it's like
Mid
you're
30s
still
even.
very
Yeah.
young. You know what I mean? But our bodies start changing from birth, honestly, till we die. And so it's like let's
Yeah.
talk about it. But anyways, yeah, it's like you can have all kinds of crazy things that aren't fun. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. Absolutely. And the thing is that and I started having hot flashes and stuff that are associated with perimenopause. When I was really young, I had kids. I had three kids back to back, and that just kind of threw my body for a loop. Like it
Mhm,
didn't know what to do. And for years, I had hot flashes. So I
mhm.
thought, sure enough, that was it. But it wasn't. It was just your body is so out of whack,
Mhm.
you know?
Mhm.
And there's so many aspects to perimenopause or just in general premenopause, like most people call it.
I call it perio. I'm gonna get all the women in the world saying perio, hashtag perio.
Heck, perio. Don't be ashamed.
But anyways, what do you have to add to it?
I think from my end, I think that, like you mentioned, giving life and being a parent is such a big aspect of who women are, who we are as a, just who we are in general. And that when we get to a point of getting to this older stage, as Anita mentioned, you don't want to admit, that's admitting that you're getting older, you're getting past the season. When I used to think about babies, there wasn't a time that I didn't think the babies were the cutest and I didn't want to hold them. And I am officially in that time of my life that I'm perfectly okay holding a baby and giving it back, or not holding a baby at all, which is really weird to say, but it's not part of my season anymore. And that's okay with me. But I can understand, because when I see pregnant women or women in general that are starting their life, it's beautiful. But there is a very tiny bit of envy, because I know that's not an aspect of my life that I can embrace anymore. Right. And I can't have kids by choice, but even if I could, I wouldn't take that extra step to go about it. So I think it's knowing that that's not part of our life anymore.
Yeah, like
I
accept.
think that you really explained it really well, because it's almost like a sense of mourning. Like all of a sudden that season is over. And, you know, it's really thinking like, well, who am I now? Just like you have to navigate through once you have kids, and your whole life changes for being either, you know, focused on yourself and your husband, focused on your relationship as two individuals, and then being a mother and navigating through a whole new role of this selfless life that you've chosen. And then you know, kind of get used to it. And then the kids start getting older. Like Marissa already has, you know, has a son that just graduated, and my kids are about to graduate. It's just years away from, wow, the kids are going to be off to college. And so then it's kind of thinking, okay, it's a little scary navigating what's going to be next, what's next for me. And it's just, you know, fear of the unknown, the transition. But what I've heard from so many women is that it's really the time to come into yourself. And now that you've done so much hard work for 18, 19, 20, 21 years, however long, you know, of course, being a mom never stops, but, you know, you can really focus on yourself and what makes you happy, and keeping yourself strong and healthy, and enjoying life and relaxing, you know, taking a nap in the middle of the day if you need to. So and I think that's for every working mom, it's so hard to be able to just relax and take a breather because you feel guilty. It's like you feel like you're not, it's, as women, we always feel like we have to be the prettiest, the most in shape, make the most money, do the most for our kids. And if we're not running on all six cylinders, you know, at all, every waking hour of the day, we feel like we're less than. So I think it's really also about getting older and embracing that you can just relax a little bit, and everything doesn't have to be quote unquote perfect in the way that your mind thinks it has to be.
So
That's
true.
great.
Yeah, so true. I think
I'm like, tell me more,
yeah.
Chelsea.
Do you girls know about the 3 snaps and a Z formation? Anyway, that's I'm telling my age when I say that, but
I do not, but I think it's just because I'm not that cool. We are all very much the same age.
Have you been seeing that Instagram thing that says, were these the same knees that got me to the windows and to the walls? Oh my
yes.
No.
Yes. I sent that meme to you.
Oh. It's so true.
The
It's like,
windows.
oh my word.
Yeah.
Well, this was excellent.
Now, with the changes mentally, I think there's also physical changes. And I think that those can often be the hardest to accept, because you can hide what you're feeling. You can hide. I mean, a lot of people go through depression in so many different life stages, but you can't you can't hide your physical changes. And I think that that's the things that we were laughing at, what brought up this conversation. When you told me about Anita, I think you pulled out a chin. What was it like?
Do you want
Yeah,
the
I'll be the,
because she
I'll
was
take it
like,
for
I
the
don't want
team
you calling
girls.
me out because I like if you don't want to say it was
Yeah, you don't have to say. It was definitely
No, it's actually fine.
Okay.
It's actually a funny story. And I think it's happened. This is one of those taboo, tongue-in-cheek things that no one likes to talk about because it's like what part of this makes you feel beautiful? But when you're sitting in a parking lot waiting for your kids or whatever it is you're doing, and it only happens to me in the car, but happened to pull down the mirror, look at my face, and I call Marissa. Did I text you or did I call
You
you?
texted me and
I
then
think I might have texted her. And then I said, I just found a 1 inch jet black hair out hanging out of my chin. And I look at myself every day. Every single day I look at myself, I put on makeup, brush my teeth. Do you think that it probably was growing for it felt like 3 months as long as it was, and I'm like, how did I not see it? And that'll happen every now and then, and it doesn't matter. You try to keep yourself as best as you can, but obviously with their hormones fluctuating so much, it's also completely normal for something like that to happen.
Yeah.
I know. After this happened, I had a facial on Tuesday and I told my lady, I said, do you look for like long hairs? Like, I'm really worried sick. I was like, my best friend just told me a 1 inch hair on her chin. And I was like, because she'll always ask if I want the
dermabrasion.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, because for me, I feel like having peach fuzz on my face reminds me of being a kid still, because you have that like, and so I'm like, I want to keep it because I feel younger and I don't want to feel like I have a beard all of a sudden, like a shaved beard. And so she always offers it and I'm like, I don't want it. But this time I'm like, please look everywhere. And she's like, you're good right now. And I'm like, well, you better tell me because, but I'll get like a hair right here, a 1 inch black hair. And I'm like, what the hell? Like where?
I did do.
Yeah.
Random.
These are all those fun little stories that you talk to with your best friend about it. But oh my gosh, you would not want to like blurt it out like we are. But I think that we're probably supported by many of the women who are watching us, and they all have their little stories that they complain to their husbands or their best friends about.
Yeah. I don't know if I think I complained to my husband. Yeah. I showed him the picture. He said, why would you take a picture of that?
Here? Oh, I would have.
And of course you have to put it on your finger and hold it up to the light to actually really get a good look at it.
Put it on my nail.
Yeah.
He's all, and imagine men like don't care about that stuff. They don't think about it, and they're probably like, how weird. And we're like, oh yeah, I would have for sure. Like I would have had a ruler out to measure my hair.
So,
oh my gosh.
But combined with that and hot flashes and your eyesight, all of a sudden, that's another thing for me is eyesight. My kids will come up and just hold something in front of my face, and I'm like, wait a minute, and I'm like pulling it back to see. All of a sudden, I'm burning up hot. I'm like, what,
Yep.
And I was starting to notice these things, and I blame Marissa because then Marissa started talking about it, the beginning of the year, and then I started feeling and seeing these symptoms even more. So I'm, it's all her fault.
It is. It's
all her fault.
Not really perimenopause. It's just Marissa.
I'm sorry that I'm sitting here dying laughing because it's like I'm like, thanks a lot, Eve. You really did us dirty.
Oh
here.
yeah.
Like,
Eve has been cursed by all of us. I think every woman has cursed Eve at some point in her life.
Because I'm like, yeah, you're like, I can't see. And that, me too, lately. I'm like, I can't see. And I blame it. I'm like, it's the screens. Like, I'm looking at the screens too.
Yeah, it's the blue light.
Yeah, that's the screens.
I need to get those blue light glasses so that I can see. But that's me. I'm like, let me see. I can't see nothing right now. It's terrible.
Yeah, I have an iPad.
This is my phone.
This is actually my phone.
I'll have like an older
Like this.
client that has the text on their phones be as big as it gets,
Yeah.
and I'm like, okay, I guess it's almost time to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly. It's getting close.
Well, with that being said, we can move on to the beauty reviews, or you can kind of tell us about yourself, Anita. Which one would you guys rather? Because I think we can move on to the beauty products. So as we get older, our beauty routines change quite a bit, and what we're looking for changes a ton. It's no longer about keeping oil at bay, or, you know, I don't even know what people worry about in their 20s anymore.
Geez, I don't either, but I do worry about a lot of other things these days.
Things that 34-year-olds worry about.
So yes, tell us a little bit about your beauty routine.
Yeah, your beauty hacks.
Well, I
You
guess
beauty things
I've
you
really
like to share.
transitioned. I've transitioned over the years from doing stuff that's trendy or that everyone else is doing to really taking a holistic approach and focusing on natural remedies for beauty. I'm not going to lie, I did Botox for a couple years and I just started noticing that, I was having to do more and more, and one area would correct the other area, and then you're gonna have to do more on your crow's feet and put a little here, and then what about here? And I looked at a picture of myself one day and I thought, I'm starting to look exactly the way I never wanted to look. And so I just decided I'm gonna stop doing the Botox altogether. And I've been doing a lot of research and following some people online, some ladies that have amazing skin and they're using, holistic remedies. So right now I have a little concoction of jojoba oil, frankincense, and castor oil that I mix together. And I used to just do it before bed. But now I'm actually doing it in the morning as well. I put on makeup now today for the show, but I really don't. If I'm not going to have appointments, I don't wear makeup like I used to. Um, so I think just that those natural remedies are helping. I have red light therapy thing in my room, so every night I'll put my oil on and I throw on my red light therapy. So that helps, and of course, drinking so much water. I put collagen peptides in my protein shakes twice a day. So, just trying to take a more holistic approach and also taking nutrition into consideration as well.
It's awesome.
I love it.
Yeah.
You look like a baby. You look amazing.
Like a little hita.
Like a little Hita homegirl that I've known for 34 years. Do you know what a Hita is?
No.
All of
A
our
little
language, our
girl.
New Mexico language, most Hispanics here have no clue. It's what I
Really?
learned living here is that,
I grew up in Wyoming and Michigan, guys, like when I was at my teenager.
Oh,
So,
yeah, well, Hita is a little girl and Hito is a little boy.
oh, okay.
And Mijito is
Oh,
my,
mijita.
uh-huh,
Okay.
yeah. So we have but you know what I learned living here is because there's like Puerto Ricans, Cubans, Mexicans, every kind of, Hispanic race here. All the Spanish that they speak is totally different. And I never knew that till living here. I just assumed Spanish was like English and it was just
right.
universal, but it isn't,
It's true.
Yeah, even from state to state, that's interesting.
Yeah, especially bordering states, but
Right. You would think that it would be the same. I guess it's kind of like New Mexican food and Tex-Mex food. It's just a little bit
nothing
different.
the same.
Yeah.
Just a little bit different.
Nothing the same.
That's the same thing when you're about people from California, like the difference in the food. So what do you do, Marissa? What do you do for your beauty routine that has changed over the years?
I think like when I was young, I never even washed my face at night. Like I would, shower and go to bed with a full face of makeup. And then it was when I started to have children that my skin really changed. And I was like, I've got to wash my face at night. So I can't even go to bed without washing my face. And then recently, which one day I'm going to bring them, but I have started using this product called Deep Cream, and then these chemical peel pads. They're not probably holistic, but it basically turns over new skin every day, and you can use them every single day. And it's by Dr. Dennis Gross. And those products, like I've been using them for probably 6 months. It is huge. I notice a huge difference in my skin,
Really?
and they are super affordable. Like the most affordable skincare line I've ever used, professional line. So I've been doing those. So you know, wash your face and then do the pads. And then I use this vitamin C. And in fact, I was talking to my skincare lady about it because last summer I noticed I had, I think it's called Malaysia, where you get like the mask. And I was like, oh my gosh, like that, I look like I've got like, you know, freckles right here and up here. And it is for more of like darker skinned ladies who have more pigment in their skin. It shows up more than, you know, fairer skin.
Yeah. So if anyone says you're not
I've got
Mexican,
the proof. I'll
yeah.
just take my makeup off. But this year I noticed I didn't see it as much. And so the main thing is that vitamin C corrector has definitely brightened up all those spots. So I'm a
Oh,
believer in all of
Yeah.
that because yeah, I never had that before. And just different
and
things.
how big are the pads that you're using?
It,
How
it looks
they're
like a
just like,
baby wipe. And so it comes in a tube.
oh, so it's not like something that you're sticking on. Like my son always has these zip patches now.
No,
So
it's
it's not something
literally
that you stick on. It's just something that you wipe on your
a wipe.
face.
Yep, you like wash your face and then do the first layer and all the way down to your neck because a lot of women don't take care of their neck. So you'll look young up here and then you've got like a wrinkled neck. So I've never wanted to have a wrinkled neck. So I
Yeah.
make sure to take care of my neck. But you put the first step on, wait 2 minutes, and then put the neutralizer on, and then your daily regimen. And I'm telling you, like they are amazing. It just is turning over new skin every day. And then it's accompanied, you know, I use a good retinol cream, which is excellent for skin rejuvenation. But I feel like I finally got my skin on a good routine where it feels good. I'm not spending an arm and a leg.
It does look good.
Yeah.
uh yeah, I have tried retinol and everyone swears by retinol and that it's so great, but I can't use it. I will use it one day and then the next day my whole face is like crusted. And so I can't use it. And if I use it, one of my good friends is a dermatologist. She said, number one, if you're ultra sensitive to it, put lotion on your face first and then put retinol on. And you're obviously not a candidate for using it on a daily basis. She said, maybe use it, 2 days consecutively and then lay off for a while, or use it every other day or every few days because I've heard so many people say, "Oh, retinol is the way to go," and it just doesn't work for me. So, I'm glad to hear that it works for you.
Yeah, and if I would love to like come home soon and I'll leave you a couple of those pads. That way you could try them and see if your skin's too sensitive because you can use them daily, but if it's too
Right.
much, you can back it off to like twice a week or once a week. But
Yeah.
my skin does good every other day I use them.
And I'll do chemical peels every like twice a year. Um, and that definitely makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Yep.
So for me, I think the biggest thing, I love doing the micro needling. Yeah. So I do a set of it once a year and you should do three. Sometimes I do one and then another one in a few months and then so forth. But really you're supposed to do three of them back to back, like 2 weeks, 2 weeks, and 2 weeks to get the maximum effect, which I did. I don't remember how many I did this time, but I think that really does the major difference throughout the year. But I also do the retinol. But I think the biggest thing, I want more of a classic look. I don't change a whole lot. with my makeup. It's very simple. It takes me 10 minutes from start to finish. So I want something that is going to keep my skin healthy. And like you said, it starts from what we begin with. I usually just use a sulfur soap because I do have, excuse me, I've always had problems with rosacea and acne. And the sulfur soap is really gentle and also over the counter to be able to use with I think I shared it last time with that scrubbing brush, and that makes a big difference. And then the retinol between those things. And then I do use the Metro gel, but that's not for aging. That's more for the rosacea. Yeah. And then of course you can't forget just a great moisturizer. I think we can all agree that that's probably number one thing. And yes, excuse me, the neck thing is so important. And most people, a lot of people miss that. I will say that's probably the scariest place that I'm afraid to age in. Like if I had to pick one place
right
that I'm afraid of aging, it's my neck. What about you guys?
I agree, because neck and hands.
Yes.
Because they're not gonna lie. That you can do both in your hands. I'm like, I think that's pretty extreme. Like, and I'm with you. I'm kind of like at a point where I'm like, I don't care about the age that I am. I just want to look and feel as good as I can for the year that I'm in. And that's it. Like,
exactly.
I'm not trying to be 20 again. I had a great time in my 20s, 30s, and I'm in my 40s, and I'm thankful that I'm here. And this is reality. I'm not trying to look like I'm 20 years old. It's just not realistic. And I mean, I don't want to be that age.
Maybe in 10 more years I will.
Yeah. Well, there's a ponytail trick. That's why I've got my pony. This is a trick. You can wear a pony and then it just pulls up.
No, it is very true. I wear my hair up like this and I pin it, and it does make a difference. You really do see a difference. Sorry.
Her eyes.
It is.
Like, you really
you do. And that's the point. Like it's funny because it's true.
Yeah.
So we're all gonna start wearing the high ponytails or half up, half down hairdos.
Like, oh, yeah, that just made me look wrinkled. I need you to crop that out.
Can you go ahead and crop that out, please?
We'll just blur our faces where you see those where you only see their eyes. I always wonder when I see these people on Facebook or any social media, I'm like, if you go missing, somebody has to look for you. And I wonder, I've seen so many profiles that I really wonder if that's what they look like, because I've never seen a picture of them unfiltered, to the extreme.
Yeah.
Right.
About people.
You're like, if you keep filtering, no one's going to find you when you go missing. So quit that.
Yeah. You are.
My boys got me to quit the filters. They're like, Mom, that doesn't even look like you. It looks weird. And now I'm like, it does. It looks really weird. I can't have a filter on there anymore. It looks fake.
Oh yeah. Having teenage kids will humble you very quick. I have one that's sweet always, no matter what I look like. And there's my youngest one will tell it exactly how it is. If I come out thinking I'm looking cute, he will break down the outfit, and he keeps me in with what's hip.
Yeah,
that's good. That's good. Sometimes you see people and I wonder, do they have any friends? Like, does anyone like them?
Did they look in the mirror?
Okay, so I think, did you want to share your beauty product now with us, since we're here in the beauty topic?
Okay. Tell me when you're ready.
So tell us, Anita, what your beauty hack or favorite product you have right now is.
So my new favorite thing, I guess I'll kind of lead into the story. I have naturally curly hair. It was a lot prettier curls before I had kids. So now it's kind of like frizzy in some places, curly underneath, straight in some places. But the underlying factor is that I have coarse hair, and it will be frizzy by the end of the day if I try to curl it or straighten it. So I found at a health and fitness conference, a lady, when you go by, if you're in the mall or at a store and they're kind of like do you want some perfume? Let me give you a makeover. And this is kind of how this lady was. She, I was trying to walk by and they had all these little cute little beauty studios set up and they're kind of bringing women in to do their hair. So I got sucked into it. And, at that day it was in Las Vegas, and even Las Vegas being dry, my hair had still gotten a little bit of frizz to it. So she got this product and it's I believe it's pronounced Soleil, Soleil, but it's this little styling wand and it's actually steam and infrared. So it's not ceramic, it's not direct heat for your hair. And this thing has been the biggest lifesaver because I can do my hair with this and I don't have to do it every single day. It will keep the frizz away. It will enhance. My hair hasn't been this healthy. I can't even remember. Maybe since I was a teenager, since before I started doing anything to it. So because there's no heat. So I cut my hair and I was able to use this. And I feel like it just keeps so much moisture and shine in my hair and it feels so healthy. So it's definitely pricey. I mean, this was $250, but it does come with a warranty. And I can tell you, it has made such a difference in my hair. I recently cut my hair because it was, so dry and I just needed a new look. And so now I feel like I can really try to grow it long again.
Yes,
But
like
have
the
it
whole time
healthy.
I was doing hair, I'm sorry to interrupt, but the whole time I was doing hair, I wanted to give her a fresh short haircut and she would never let me. And then she cut it short behind my back now that I don't have hair anymore.
That's exactly. She was waiting for you
It was
to.
so sad. I was like,
Yeah.
but I love it.
Before she could even say, I love your hair, she was saying how disappointed that she wasn't the one that could get it, but it looked great.
I did. Yes, I love it. So sorry, but I had to throw that in there. That is amazing. So does it give like a round brush kind of look? Can you wear it
Yeah.
So
super
you can
tight or
actually
close?
straighten it. So if you are putting it in your hair, you can you put it in this way and well, let me just get a smaller piece. And you can completely straighten it. So if I wanted to straighten it, you just take your time and bring it down like this. And of course it's not on,
Uh-huh.
but it will completely straighten it.
Wow.
Or like today, I wanted to have my hair a bit of a wave. So you just kind of coil it around and just bring it straight down, and it will give you a nice, bouncy, shiny curl,
It
and it
does.
will last.
Yeah,
So
your hair looks
it's
super shiny.
thank you. And it's honestly this thing. I can go to places that are humid. I took this out to Texas when I went to see you for Easton's graduation. And, out there it's super humid. So I'm like, this is really going to be the test. And it helps so much with the frizz out in
That's
humidity.
awesome.
So
You should get one.
so
Same here.
$250, $250, but it's literally worth every penny.
I think so, especially time saver, a
That's such a
stress
big,
Yes.
saver.
yeah, that's such a big aspect that we do every day, or at least every couple days. So yeah, that would be great. Nice.
So we're gonna circle back and talk with Anita about who she is and where she comes from and just give us a little bit of your bio.
Sure. So I live here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I was born and raised here. I went to high school and college here, and I graduated in 2002 from the University of New Mexico with a bachelor in business. Shortly after that, I got into commercial real estate with a worldwide brokerage, and I sold apartment units, 100 units and over, on a team for about 6 years. And then I transitioned into land sales. So that land sales was about another 4 years. And then I had my kids. Around that time, the market had started changing so much. There was a big downturn in the market. And I was thinking of going back into commercial, and it had just changed so much and slowed down. So that made me pivot into residential. So then I started at Coldwell Banker for a little bit. My kid's dad at that point, we were still married, and I started at Coldwell and thought, well, you know, I'm not sure if this is really, when they have a great program there, and got a lot of training. And from picking up one of my clients, I took her to another national builder, and I started, well, I guess I could go back. Sorry, that was kind of long-winded. But I sold one of my clients a home with a national builder, and the salesperson was amazing. And she actually ended up being one of my best friends. She recruited me to come and sell with them. And I started in new home construction, and that really helped me take off as far as residential sales goes. And my kids were still small at that time. Um, I got divorced, after right around 2012. So I worked for this national builder, and that really helped me create a nice, solid platform. Getting back on my feet again, learning how to be in a single parent household with my kids. It created some really great structure, training, and stability. And throughout that time, I started wanting to get myself back into shape. And so I really got into fitness, and I started, my goal was to get myself in the best shape I had ever been in. And I had never been in fantastic shape. I think I was kind of always, I felt like I was a semi-athletic build. It was pretty, I had more muscle, mass. And so I thought, I had a couple friends that had done some fitness competitions, and I just aspired to have my physique look like theirs. So I told myself I'm going to do it. My kids were still small. My youngest was 3.5 and my oldest was 5 when I started doing it. And it really just transitioned me in a time when I felt so low about myself, and after having kids, and I had put on so much weight, and my body was just, I couldn't recognize it anymore. And you know, as far as, self-worth, self body image, it was just so low. And so really learning about bodybuilding and nutrition really helped boost my confidence again in all aspects. It was fitness competing was something that was great. I got the t-shirt, I did it, and it built my confidence in so many levels of my life. It's not something that I thought, it's an industry like anything else, and it's just something that I didn't want to continue working on, but it changed my confidence levels in so many ways. So that really led into opening a gym facility. The gym that I was going to shut down, and it was an incredible gym, and they ended up going out of business. It was a local gym facility, and they had another location in another section of the city. And so I started going to a national chain gym, and over time I realized that this space was still available. And so I partnered with someone else, and we opened up that facility. And it it was a lot more than I had bargained for. Now looking back, it's been 11 years since Elite Physique Gym has been open, and it's incredible to think of so much I've learned. I mean, I had never managed staff before. I had never dealt with customer service in anything outside of real estate. So the learning curve was super high, and I made a ton of mistakes, but from all those mistakes, I have learned so much. I just recently, with my partner, opened up another gym in another location in the city as well. So now we have 2 gyms. Both of them are 24-hour. facilities, and he's doing a really good job at helping to manage those, so I can focus now on my real estate career again. And the focus now has transitioned back to multifamily development, land development, multifamily investments. And then I also still do some residential. So that's really career wise in a really short little nutshell of time that doesn't get too boring, kind of tells a story of where I've been career wise. And within that transition, I moved to a farming community where my parents lived. And I had told myself, my parents moved here to, it's called Corrales, New Mexico, when I was in high school. And I was a city girl. I could not believe that they moved out here. There was so much dirt and bugs and potential of snakes. And I couldn't wait to get out of here fast enough. And then lo and behold, I ended up here again and started getting animals. And so now that's just, it's amazing how all these little choices that you make on a daily basis shape your life. Because, sometimes people ask me, how in the world did you get involved? Why did you decide to own 2 gyms? Like, how, what made you get into real estate? How did you get a farm? I think because everything that I do is so many sides of the spectrum that, it's a little bit of me. It's who I am. And I guess my life is a reflection of who I am inside in my heart. I have a heart for animals. I love working professionally in real estate, the challenge of it. And, health and fitness has always been important to me. And I think, it's just an outward example of who I am inside, I guess.
Very cool.
I love it. I'm impressed. Even though I've been there every step of the way, Chels, your story is still impressive.
Yeah, it is super.
Aww. Marissa's gone through the blood, sweat, and tears with me, literally, so it's not always been easy. None of it has been easy. And I'm kind of still navigating through uncharted waters but we'll see. I'm giving myself another 10, 15 years of this until I think about what's next, what's after retirement, what does that look like? So
yeah,
stay tuned.
Absolutely.
Marissa doesn't have a choice.
I don't. We are gonna be the Golden Girls. We're gonna go all over the place together. But I think that one of the most impressive things with all of that is that your determination. So anything that you have ever put your mind to, you do it, and you've done it all alone. Like literally, obviously with God, Anita also is a woman of faith. So it's like she knows who leads her, but she follows in with strong determination. Like, the example I gave of the alpaca is like a good example of who she is. It's like, this is a big animal, but I'm going to let him know who's in charge, and I'm so determined, I'm going to take him down. And that's so what cool. You do, I feel like, with all challenges. You're very inspiring.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I think I've always, as a little girl, I wasn't always very confident, but very early on, I started realizing that the only way to deal with fear is to face it and to walk through it. And not to say that things aren't scary in life. There's many scary things that I've been through, but like you said, Marissa, it's like with God, you're never alone. Even if through divorce, through changes in relationship, the death of my father, the death of my mother, you think, oh, I'm alone, but really you're not. Ultimately, we are all women of faith, and you're absolutely never alone. So God has brought me through so much, taught me so much, let me go through a lot of misery and changes so I can ultimately seek him again. And he keeps pulling me back up, not giving up on me. So it's through his faithfulness that I continue to persevere.
I love it.
Me too.
Amen.
Amen.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think that you've dealt with your having kids as a single mom? Like, of course, our show is not about being single or married, but it is just being a mom and having to deal with kids in all life stages is probably our biggest worry, our biggest challenge, and our biggest reward. So how do you deal with it all? How have you dealt with it? And what would you say to somebody, thinking about going through the same, maybe not the same things that you've gone through, but one of those things, or it's in the middle of it? How do you, what would you say to them?
Well, it's hard, and I can't say I'm a single parent. I would say I'm a one parent household because I'm lucky enough to have kids that have a very supportive father and who has always been involved and supportive and a leader in many aspects in their life. So for that, I'm grateful.
Absolutely.
But having the boys just me, sometimes I think that strength, especially when you're raising young men, you have to be strong, and you also have to, when you're a single parent household, you find yourself being the mother and the father in various aspects. You want to be nurturing, but you also have to show them, this is how you treat women, so you have to show them the hard and the soft, when it's just you as a woman in a household with two boys. So I think when they were younger, I was working a lot. Like I said, I worked with the national builder and I had 2 days off a week. And at that time, they were in school or they were in preschool. So I think once they went to school, that really allowed me to figure out what I needed to do to be the provider for my household. And then when I had them, I think the biggest advice is when you have your kids, really be in the moment, because I've noticed them transitioning into teenagers and being a lot more independent and not as codependent on me as their mother. It's again, I'll go back to that morning stage, is all of a sudden that phase is gone and you can't get it back. And you don't even realize that that phase is gone until you see the photos of them and you think of how your life was. And it's,
Oh,
sometimes you're in survival mode. You're just operating in survival mode and you just don't realize it just goes by so fast. So I think my biggest advice, and this is what I tell my niece with my great niece, is just be in the moment. Just take time to really, and to understand that these moments aren't going to last forever. When they're little and you're doing so much, bathing them and brushing their hair and making sure they're fed, and you're doing all this, you're just going through the motions, and you don't realize how special it is. So I think just being present, being in the now with your children, and just taking time to listen to them, and to talk with them. I even when they're little, I think I could have done, probably a better job if I could go back and really just be present. So with anyone with younger kids, that would be my advice. Be present as much as you can with your kids. And I absolutely love now the place that they're at, and just spending time with them and going on trips, just the three of us, and us going to dinner and just talking. They're growing into young men. And so being able to just come home and shut everything off, shut the business off. Sometimes, the animals are fed, they're watered. It's like, let's just focus on some time with us. So it's really nice to just see the men that they're growing into, and they're both so opposite. They're just so individual and just such amazing young men, and really getting to know who they are as people, and not being so wrapped up in what I have going on.
absolutely.
I love it.
Do you have a mom fail? Mom win?
Me or her? Chelsea, do you have a mom win or a mom fail recently that you'd like to share?
I think the mom win is I recently had the opportunity to take a trip with each one of my kids individually. So we were able to go out to Texas, my older son Elijah and I, and he's so fun to be around. Like I said, my kids are complete opposites. And Elijah is a lot more reserved and introverted and calm energy. And so the experience with him out there in Texas, it was just so nice because when you have multiple children, it's often you don't take that time, or it might be a day that you guys do something together, but to actually take a trip and just be with him 3 days, that was huge. And then I came back, and a few weeks later, I took my younger son. He had a football tournament in Flagstaff. And so it was just my younger son and I, which is a complete different type of energy, and it was just great to be able to connect with them individually as individual people and really share, and not only just um, wanting to know more about their life, but I found him asking me questions about who I was as a person or how I was when I was younger, and being able to share that one-on-one time with your individual children, and I think is a huge win. Always when you can have individual times with your children.
I love it.
Yeah, me too. That's awesome.
How about you?
I don't have one picked out.
I'll share, because I was thinking about it this morning. I was like, what have I done this week? And I think that I felt like a little mom fail. The other day, I was taking my youngest son to his golf tournament, and he wanted to leave at a certain time, and we left 8 minutes late. And he wouldn't stop, giving me stuff about it on the way. And I was like, how about you just be grateful? How about you just be grateful that I'm taking you? You're still getting there 42 minutes early. And how about you? And he just like was quiet. And then afterward, I was like, gosh, you're a jerk. Why did you say that? But it's like mom guilt instantly for me. I immediately, and I didn't raise I like said it just like I did, but it was true. It's like, hey, guess what? You're still getting there 42 minutes early. I'm sorry, you weren't 50 minutes early. But I think I could have said it a little bit nicer. And so I did feel like a jerk of a mom, a fail.
Well, that's nice of you at least to be honest, because it's not all peaches and cream. And I think sometimes we tend to just pop off at our kids and then realize later, oh, wow, I could have really handled that a lot better, because I think we've all been there. And I know me more times than not, my kids could tell you,
Yeah.
you didn't have to yell at us like that, so.
And well, I think that
Sometimes they need a little tough love also, especially with boys, because they'll tend to really, well, I think boys and girls, they tend to put way too much pressure on parents, and they haven't had enough life experience to realize that the whole world doesn't revolve around them. So, it's sometimes they need a little bit of that tough love to snap them out of it.
Yep.
Absolutely.
That's what I was telling him. I'm like, I'm doing the best that I can. I mean, I'd like to, I had to do this, that, and the other thing. And it wasn't my proudest moment. It wasn't the worst. It was like a 1 on a scale of 1 to 10, but
yeah, I think sometimes kids need those come to Jesus moments, there are. And I think at the end of the day, we talked about it a little bit, looking for connection rather than just the trying to discipline. And there's a difference between discipline and punishment. And we are called to discipline. We are called to guide our kids. And even sometimes with my daughters that are over, 20, in their 20s, I still feel like I have to do that still, because they're still learning about life. And if we can't be honest with them, I think the biggest thing I learned is, like you said, the way that we talk to them is a big one, but those things still have to be said, because if we're not teaching them, it's like the people that we're just talking about, they walk outside and it's like, you don't have any friends. And that's the same thing emotionally, and the way that you treat people. And that will carry on. If we don't correct that at some point, it will carry on to other people.
All right. So what does that leave us?
I think that's
So we gotta
it.
wrap it up.
Yeah, I think that's it. We've covered everything. We're so grateful, Anita, that you were here with us.
Yes, I am so grateful. So very grateful.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure, and I love talking to you ladies. And um, it's going to be a great day, I think, for all of us. And I wish you all the best. And God bless you both always. And I think you're going to have much success with your podcast. So congratulations again.
Thank
you. And God
you.
bless you. Have a great one, everybody.
Yes, and don't forget to like it, share it, subscribe.
Smash the like button.
Like it, share. Is there like a S? Like it, share it.
Yes. And we are going to have a TikTok channel coming soon.
Yes, we do have a TikTok channel. I started it without our name, so right now it's just a bunch of random letters and and numbers. But it is called, you want to say it?
The Realist Moms.
Yeah.
So
we'll be on TikTok.
Yes, yes. We love you. Have a wonderful day.
Bye, ladies. Have a good one.